today we are going to see the poetic devices that appear in this poem, Keeping Quiet. So let us check it. So in this lines, now we will count to 12. This alliteration, that is we will, I have given in purple color, that is alliteration. Count to 12 and we will all keep still. It is antithesis. That means we cannot do contradictory actions at the same time. Now the poet tells us to count to 12. At the same time, he tells us to keep still. How is that possible? So it is antithesis. Now use of vowel sound O and E is happening here. That is assonance. Now we will count to 12. Not move our arms so much. So that is also there in the forthcoming stanzas. Assonance. And so in these two lines we have number one alliteration, number two assonance, number three antithesis. Let us go to the next stanza. So in this stanza we have, let's not speak in any language, let's stop for 1 second. Let's is happening. It is anaphora. That is two consecutive lines starting with the same word. Let us. That is what? It is anaphora. And arms is pun. When I was teaching the poem, I told you how it is a pun. It has arms as two meaning. Here in this line, it refers to hands as well as weapons. So that is another literary device. Now when we go to the third stanza, without rush, without engines, it is a repetition. And we would all be together, alliteration. We would is alliteration, I have given in purple. In a sudden strangeness, again, sudden strangeness is an alliteration. Now, fisherman in the cold sea. Cold sea is imagery. Imagery is nothing but visual description. The moment you hear the word cold sea, it gives us, we visualize immediately how the cold sea would be. We need to visualize. That is what imagery. Now, lots of symbols have been used in the stanza. Fisherman in the cold sea. Fisherman here is a symbol of violent activities, exploiting the nature. Fisherman is symbolized with tyranny, tyrant activity, because he kills the whales. That's why. Now, would not harm whales. That is here. He would not. The fisherman would not kill the whales. That is, nature is protected. Again, it is a symbol. A man and the man gathering salt. Here, the salt gatherers are compared with the lowest rate of the society, poor men. They do anything to earn their livelihood. So here, the salt gatherers are symbolized with bottom rung of the society. Now, next line, would look at his hurt hands. Now, here his hurt hands is alliteration. Now, his hurt hands, that is, humans will have time to tend his wounds. That's what here the symbol. In this stanza, victory with no survivors. It's a paradox. To celebrate the victory, there won't be people. There won't be, survivors won't be there to celebrate the victory. The soldiers, those who have fought for their nation, some of the soldiers may perish in the war. And fellow soldiers would not have mind to celebrate the victory. That is what it is. That is why it is a paradox. Metaphor. Put on clean clothes. That means here the poet suggests wear clean clothes, avoid the blood-stained clothes. It might appear like that, but he says here, shed off your evil deeds, shed off your wrong deeds, shed off your wrong activities. That's what here it means. Put on clean clothes. It's not the white cloth, which is a symbol of serenity or purity. He says, by wearing white clothes, by wearing clean clothes, you have to shed off your evil activities. Now, brothers, it's a symbol again. Brothers mean the fellow human beings. So, walk about with our brothers, and that means when we do not indulge in war, we can treat everybody as our fellow being. We can walk in peace. We can treat everybody equally. Let us not have the identity of race, this country, I belong to this country, race, caste, creed, color. Let us all forget about all those identities. Let us have only one identity, that is human being. That's what the poet says. It is a symbol here. In the shade, again, it is a metaphor. In the shade means in uh, in a secured position, in a secured way. That's what here it says. Now, in this stanza, no truck with the death is euphemism. What is euphemism actually? Instead of giving a message very strongly using a very harsh word, we can substitute it with a very mild word, or indirectly we can convey the message. Now, here the poet says that no truck with death. He did not want people to get confused with total inactivity. Total inactivity means a person being quiet. That's what the poet says here. And he also wants us not to get confused. Total inactivity means death. I'll give you one more example. Nowadays, during this corona time, we have seen companies laying off the people, dismissing the people from that job. Dismissing is a harsh word. Cut down is a harsh word. Cutting down is a harsh word. So if a person, a CEO calls and tells a person, I have dismissed from you from this job. I have dismissed you from this job. How a person would have fit? So instead, he says that we have started downsizing our company. So we are unable to accommodate you. When time permits, definitely we will take you back. That's what he says. So this is what euphemism. Now in this last but one stanza, we were, it is an alliteration. That's what we have here. In this, earth can teach us as when everything seems dead and later proves to be alive. Is personification. Earth is personified as a teacher because it teaches us that there is life under this stillness, under this total inactivity. So a seed may appear to be it may be appear to be dead, but it is dormant. It comes out alive when it gets the water, when it rains. Same way here, total inactivity is nothing but it is giving time. The poet tells us to take time to introspect ourselves. That is what total inactivity. It is not death. Okay, children. So make a note of all these poetic devices. So when it is tested in the ERCs, it will be helpful for you to use this. Thank you.